Juan Carlos Ferrero, former coach of Carlos Alcaraz: "I was wrong, but distractions are becoming more and more tempting." During his appearance on El Cafelito, the show hosted by Josep Pedrerol, Juan Carlos Ferrero also reflected on Carlos Alcaraz and everything he can achieve, beyond their professional split. The current coach of golfer Angel Ayora stated that his former pupil has more than enough level to surpass Novak Djokovic's 24 Grand Slam titles and even become the first in history to reach 25. Regarding that ambitious and historic challenge, Ferrero emphasized that one factor will be decisive: discipline. When motivation disappears, discipline must remain. When everything is new, there is a lot of motivation, but after a few years, discipline has to be there to know what to do at every moment, he explained. All this stems from the famous quote in the Netflix documentary Carlos Alcaraz, A Mi Manera, in which Ferrero suggested that the Spaniard's occasional disconnections in life could distract him from his focus. Many people thought this, but Alcaraz himself has shown that, rather than a distraction, it is a necessity. He has never told me it bothered him. It's a statement I could still stand by, but as a coach you have to adapt. Carlos is different. He can take 5 days off without training and everything stays the same. Most people can't do that. I thought he wouldn't make it, but he's proving that he can, he explained, highlighting that Alcaraz's talent is so great that he can impose his own way. That said, he clarified that this might not always be the case in the future. In the future, we'll see. Those distractions are very tempting. More and more things will call you. But if you can differentiate, it can actually be beneficial, he warned. Ferrero explained that his concern mainly came from his obsession with having total control, something that was also present during his playing career. "My fear was more physical than tennis related. He has plenty of talent. But physically he needs to stay fresh to avoid injuries," he noted. Despite this, he is fully aware of the world number one's abilities and the need to understand him. "If you suffocate Alcaraz too much, it doesn't work," he concluded. Latest update on Carlos Alcaraz: cancels training in Barcelona due to wrist issue. Despite having booked a court from 12 o'clock to 1400 hours, local time, this Wednesday to prepare for his round of 16 match at the Barcelona Open Bank Sabadell against Czech player Tomáš Mikák, Carlos Alcaraz ultimately chose to stay at the hotel doing physiotherapy to treat discomfort in his right wrist. The world number 2 had to request medical assistance during his debut on Tuesday against Finland's Otto Virtanen, 6-4, 6-2, due to that wrist issue. He did not want to overload the area ahead of Thursday's match against Mikák, currently ranked 47th. Alcaraz downplayed the issue, stating after his opening match that it was a recurring discomfort without major consequences, attributing it to the heavy load of matches on clay, one of the most physically demanding surfaces. Thus, the two-time champion, 2022 and 2023, will not train today in Barcelona, just as he didn't on Monday after arriving from his loss in the Monte Carlo Masters final against Jannik Sinner. Carlos Alcaraz raises concerns at the Conde de Godó with an injury. Alcaraz has reached the round of 16, but not without concerns. He struggled to close the first set against Otto Virtanen, ranked 130th, and raised alarms on center court when he requested medical attention at 5-4 in the first set. Something in his right arm was preventing him from returning comfortably, and his opponent began to gain momentum. After receiving treatment and applying a wrist bandage, the Spaniard managed to break serve and take the set. The second set was more straightforward, but Alcaraz still looked uncomfortable at times, even allowing Virtanen to recover an early break. Fortunately, Virtanen quickly lost momentum, making errors that handed victory to the Spaniard, who advanced in straight sets. He now has 48 hours to recover before his next match against Tomáš Mikák. Alcaraz explains his discomfort. After the match, Alcaraz addressed the issue. "These are minor discomforts that come up. I've played many matches in a short time, with little rest. Traveling here with limited preparation creates these small issues that we have to manage. I'll meet with my team and physio, but I feel it's nothing serious and I expect to play on Thursday." Will Alcaraz push himself to regain world number 1? After his debut, the question arises, will he push through if the discomfort persists? Alcaraz made his intentions clear. "I've seen that I need to win the tournament if I want to regain number 1. The battle with Jannik is very exciting and is extra motivation." However, he emphasized that rankings are not his main goal. "My priority is to follow my path and keep improving." He also expressed admiration for Sinner. "He helps me identify my weaknesses and improve every day." Rising star Rafa Jodar makes waves. After an impressive debut against Jaume Munar, 6-1, 6-2, Rafa Jodar will take center stage in the round of 16. Originally set to face Karen Khachanov, Jodar will instead play Camilo Ugo Carabelli. "I don't set expectations. I focus on myself. I'm still the same person whether I win or lose, said Jodar. He added, I don't put pressure on myself. I need to follow my own path and not compare myself. Now ranked 55th, up from 911 a year ago, his rise has been remarkable. Alcaraz praised him. He's a great player. I've followed him closely. What he's achieved recently is incredible. He's also a great person with strong values. He also mentioned Martin Landalus as another promising young talent. Road to Roland Garros, Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner will aim to continue their dominance at Roland Garros. They played one of the matches of the century in last year's final, where Alcaraz saved 3 match points to win in 5 sets. Together, they have won the last 9 Grand Slam titles. Sinner will try to complete his career Grand Slam in Paris, while Djokovic aims for a record 25th title. Other top players include Alexander Zverev, Felix Auger-Aliassime, Ben Shelton, Alex de Minaur, Taylor Fritz, and Daniil Medvedev. Meanwhile, Lorenzo Musetti had a standout clay season last year, reaching multiple semifinals. In the end, this story brings together ambition, talent, discipline, and the inevitable challenges that come with reaching the very top of professional sport. Carlos Alcaraz stands at a fascinating crossroads in his career, already one of the most dominant players of his generation, yet still evolving, still learning, and still navigating the delicate balance between natural talent and long-term discipline. Juan Carlos Ferrero's reflections reveal something deeper than simple technical analysis. They show the complexity of coaching a unique athlete. Alcaraz is not a conventional player, and perhaps that is precisely what makes him extraordinary. His ability to disconnect, to step away, and still return at the highest level challenges traditional ideas about preparation and consistency. Ferrero admits he may have been wrong in doubting this aspect, but his warning remains clear: as success grows, so do distractions, and managing them will be key to sustaining greatness over time. At the same time, the physical demands of the sport quietly loom in the background. The wrist discomfort in Barcelona is a reminder that even the most gifted players are not immune to fatigue and injury. Alcaraz's decision to prioritize recovery over training reflects maturity and awareness, qualities that will be just as important as his forehand or movement if he wants to build a historic career. Around him, the tennis world continues to evolve. Rivalries with players like Jannik Sinner are pushing him to improve, while the emergence of young talents such as Rafa Jodar and Martin Landalus signals a new generation rising behind him. The competition is not standing still, and neither can he. Looking ahead to Roland Garros and beyond, the question is no longer whether Alcaraz has the talent to reach historic milestones. Few doubt that. The real question is whether he can maintain the balance between freedom and discipline, between instinct and structure, between ambition and physical care. That balance will ultimately determine whether he merely shines for a few years or defines an era. For now, Alcaraz continues forward, learning, adapting, and proving that there is no single path to greatness. His journey remains open, unpredictable, and compelling. And perhaps that is what makes it so captivating to watch.